Hi, I'm Stacy with Edgewater Creative.
And I'm Tia with Done Classy Events.
We're two small business owners who reside in the beautiful city of Dunedin, Florida.
We love our charming city on the Gulf and want to share with you all it has to offer.
Join us as we chat with business owners, event hosts, and charities located in Dunedin and other surrounding communities.
So come along and
meet us on Main Street.
It's gonna be on the audio anyways.
Cut. If I don't tell Tia to cut, she'll continue on. Hello and welcome to Meet Us on Main Street podcast.
I'm like one of those like coin machines that you just keep putting, but I'm broken, so it's like I'm jammed. I stop.
You're jammed.
I'm Tia.
And I'm Stacy.
Hello and welcome to our October month of episodes. We are going to get a little spooky this month, and we will tell you all about it in a few. But first, you have to listen to us talk first, so ha on you. So anyways, what's up, Stacy? How's life? What's going on?
Well, life has been busy, very busy these days. I no more time for gardening or yoga, Tia.
Yes. Not the yoga part. Hate that, but
yeah, I've been very busy with work. So, our real estate photos and videos are picking up. And of course, as always, we do promo videos and commercials, and we've gotten a couple of those jobs lately. We've gotten some headshot jobs lately. So business is pretty good right now. And then on top of that, I also have my other things I dabble in. So one of them,
over there?
I don't think I ever mentioned on the podcast, because shortly after our podcast started, I was out of work from this dabbling job I do, but I also work at Pedal Pub St. Pete as a tour guide. So that just came back, fortunately. It was good to be back, see the sights of St. Pete, get out of Dunedin for a day. What else, Tia? What else? Oh, I think I don't know if it ended up getting cut out of the last episode or not, because some people say that the intro was there. Some people say it wasn't. It's like seeing those pictures where you're like, is that teal or is that pink? I don't know.
Or the Mandela effect, where you think things have actually happened, but they actually never happened.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, in case you did not hear it, I am in a play that opens next weekend, or actually this weekend, now that the episode releases Thursday. It is opening tonight. Oh my God. And
holy shit, it's all just made it.
I have intense anxiety now. So yes, I am in a play, and it's at Dunedin Community Center. So I'll mention it in the events at the end of this episode if you're interested in coming out to see it. But I've been rehearsing for that, and it's added to my stress level immensely.
I can imagine. And what's really going to add to your stress later is that I'm going to be there on opening night. So what part are you playing in this play?
I am playing the role of Selma, and I am one of the leads. And I mean, I'm not going to say anything more than that, because I guess I'll tell you what the play is about. Because I was going to say, like, it's not interesting if it's not like you're like, oh, Selma, I know Selma,
I was going with that. I was like, come on, give me a little more than just Selma here.
All right. Basic storyline. This is the sequel to 2016's For Better or Worst, which I was also in at Dunedin Community Center.
Oh, please spell worst for me, though.
W-U-R-S-T.
There it is.
Because I played the heiress to a hot dog fortune. So, in this show, I've just gotten married. Sequel. Yeah, in this thrilling sequel, my character Selma has just married Private Ace Detective Nick Noir, and they are on their honeymoon in the Caribbean, where they are mistaken for a tycoon and his mother. So, interestingly enough,
fuck you,
an old lady.
Oh, well, how'd you fancy?
So, it's a bit of a mystery. Cool. So it's a mystery and a comedy all rolled into one. It's a barrel of laughs.
Barrel monkeys will come swirling out on the stage. I just made up that word because that's what I imagine monkeys doing out of their barrel.
It's a good word for it.
I can't wait.
I can because I'm nervous as fuck. But
oh, when's the last time you've been on the stage?
Last time I was on the stage was 2016's For Better or Worse. I did community theater from like 2011 to 2016, and then I transitioned to doing film stuff. So that's when I was doing the commercials and the feature films and stuff. But
now she's back. What every good actor
does,
they go back to Broadway.
The stage, yeah. So because I, haven't done a live show in 4 years, I have forgotten all the anxiety that goes along with a live show, and not only remembering your own lines and your cues, but everyone else, you're dependent upon everyone else to know their stuff, which we have had issues with. So it's stressful because you have to rely on others to pull everything off, and
it's adult community theater.
Yep.
Where you can't depend on anyone.
Yep. It's basically when, you have volunteers, and you can only ask so much of volunteers because at the end of the day, it's free work.
Yeah. I feel like because when I was a kid, I did like musicals and stage stuff like that. But I feel like you had more professionalism from the kids, because when you're a kid, you're expected of things. Like adults are expecting you to do things, so you want to please the adults. But when you become the adult, you're kind of like, I don't really give a fuck, and I can kind of do what I want because I'm adult. So then it's very hard to actually give people expectations.
That's what I've been up to. Tia, what's new with you?
So not much over here, getting a lot of social media jobs. So there are actually big things in the work for my company, but that is going to be a little down the line, but not that far down the line. I like to stay mysterious, but y'all will know eventually when I officialize
teaser.
It. Yes, exactly. So the social media side has been going quite strong. And my other thing, I just finally had my first event that I booked at Hob. So that was very exciting because that was last night. So there are a lot of kids at Hob, and I'm going to leave it at that. I've just been doing distillery stuff and fucking working. Work.
So we're both just punching those time clocks.
I literally have nothing. I even tried to think of it today when I was like, all right, what am I going to talk about when I get on the show? And I'm like, I had an event last night, and then everything else feels like it's blacked out. Because if anyone's ever really worked in the event world, on Saturday nights, it's all adrenaline. Oh my gosh, I have to get this event, blah, blah, blah. And then on Sunday, you feel like you've just been hit by a truck and you don't actually remember what anything happened.
And your brain's empty, which is good because it's a way to decompress. But
there you go. That's a good way of looking at it. So so as far as my brain's concerned, I did an event yesterday, and that's all I've done since the last time I've talked to all of you guys. So I do know, though, however, we have some awesome announcements for the podcast. I will always remember that. As one thing, we have merchandise, y'all. You want a mug?
That's a beautiful mug, Tia.
It is. And it's got a very beautiful backside on it.
Yes.
With two hotties. Two hotties right there.
Check that out. And where can people purchase this merchandise?
So this beautiful merchandise, along with a fabulous Cooper mug, is also, and some postcards are going to be at, and secret stuff that I won't tell you, they're also there too, to get you to go. There is at the Visitor Center of the Dunedin Chambers that is open from Tuesday to Friday, 12 to 4. So please purchase our stuff.
Check it out.
And it's not on this one, but we will be at the Dunedin Pet Supplies little pumpkin palooza thing, since we're talking about merchandise, and we will have some there as well. But we will go more into that on. Exactly. Yes. But yeah, so we got merch now, which is cool. We're gonna start doing some pre-orders for shirts, but we have to find a design we like. I think we found our graphic designer finally, which has just been a long fucking road with screen printers.
And hey guys, you still have time to get our early bird discount on
the next thing I was going into. Sponsorships. I wanted you to say it at the same time. Sponsorships.
Oh, I figured I would start it and then you would end it like a wave.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sponsorships. I felt very Liza Minnelli just then. Sponsorships. Sponsorships.
Got a case of the disease.
Whoa, Buster. Yeah, I need some sponsorships here.
Oh, I love Arrested Development.
And that's my best Lucille 2 impression that I can possibly do. But yes, and on top of merchandise, we now have sponsorships where you can be a sponsor of our show. We have 3 levels, guys. VIP, Elite, and Superstar. We do these hands too when you order it. Please don't be scared. We still want you to. But we'll send you a Superstar for that. So yeah, email us, meet us on Main Street, podcast@gmail.com. We will give you all of the details on that and our awesome advertising package that we've got going on. So I'm excited. We're growing. We're almost a year old. We're like, what are we? We're 10 months old in baby years. But yeah, other than that, I mean, all I know that we've been doing is interviewing our guests for Spooky October.
Yes.
Stacy, tell them who it is.
So on today's episode, which we are very excited about, and it's also a bit of a long one because we have a lot of interest.
Like 1,000 questions. 1,000 questions.
And today we have Danielle Nice, the Nice Medium, on, who will be talking about what it means to be a psychic medium. And she'll be telling us a little bit about Enchanted Spirits, located in Downtown Dunedin, which is where she does her readings.
Stay tuned, guys.
Okay, so on today's show, we have Danielle Nice, the Nice Medium, who also works at Enchanted Spirits in Downtown Dunedin. And we're so happy to have you on the show today, Danielle, just in time for Halloween. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's awesome.
You're welcome. So,
and like sorry. And like I already explained earlier, but I'll say for the quick rundown of how we got you on the show, which is awesome, is that you had started following us on Instagram, and coincidentally enough, we were looking to get somebody from Enchanted Spirits into our episode, and it just happened at the exact same right time. I was like, see, it's meant to be. It's one of those, I love karma.
And I've been seeing Danielle's classes advertised on Facebook, and I've been interested in them. So that's another connection. So
have you been putting that in our brains?
Yes, I have.
Is this part of that? Have you been wiring to us to get us? That's cool.
So much power. Trust me.
So I know we have a lot of questions for you today, Danielle. This is a big interest of mine. I've always been fascinated by metaphysic things, and Enchanted Spirits I love. I haven't been in a while, but I used to go in there probably every week and pick up a different crystal. And so I'm very excited that you're here with us. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the questions. So first off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a psychic medium. And like you said, I do work at Enchanted Spirits. So I'm not only a reader there, I'm also working at the shop. I've been gifted my whole entire life. I would say, since I was little, I was very sensitive. I didn't understand it until I grew into my gifts, if you want to put it that way.
So I will also preface the start of when we start getting into the questions of psychics is that I definitely believe in psychics. I just don't always believe in the people who say that they are psychics. So that's where I come from when I'm listening to it. Because I definitely believe that we have like the metaphysics, like I believe in that. I know it's ability, but I'm never quite sure on the people that actually say they're psychics. So just going to give you the forewarning of where I'm
Okay.
Where my
You have
mindset
more
is on
of
there.
a analytical, scientific mind base.
Yeah, a little in the
more
supernatural.
of the left brain.
Which I think that's the first time I've ever been called on the left brain side of it. But
and then Stacy would be more of the right brain. So you guys balance each other out. Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
We are the yin and the yang, as I say.
We are, for sure. So for those of our listeners who don't know exactly what a psychic medium is, can you just kind of break that down a little bit?
Yes. All mediums are psychic. They pull from their psychic abilities. Not all psychics want to train to be a medium. We all, Tia, have the gift. Okay, so we're born with it. It's just if we choose to expand on that and go further. Psychic ability is pulling from all your senses. I don't know, back in the day, they used to call it ESP. But so we have the 5 clairs. So I'm a huge empath. I don't know if you understand what an empath is. It's a feeler. It will go with the clairsentient, but an empath will go one step further and jump in and scan and feel every emotion that is going on with you. So that's where I start with. Like I said, all mediums are psychic. They'll pull from their clairs, clairsentient, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and then we also have the taste and smell. You're just pretty much pulling from all your senses. Like I said to you, you are psychic. You just choose to either accept it or not accept it. Stacy,
I think I am.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. I think that's what it is. Like sometimes I know things that people don't, and that's actually cool that you said that. Like I was gonna have you clarify that. Like you mean like everyone is, or like all psychics are like psychics? But
well, you chose to go a different route with your intuitive abilities.
I keep it to myself.
Yeah, a lot of people do because they're like, damn, I knew that, man. But from here, you're on a different platform. I'm a different platform where I'm going to be teaching and helping people open up their gifts that want to expand onto it. So that's where, how can I say, where I'm going. But with psychic, everybody is. You're just going to be, you're just extra sensitive. I was born extra sensitive, where my mom would be like, you're just so sensitive. And I'm like, yes, I am. You have no idea. But it's just part of who I am. I grew up being this way. I didn't know any different versus anybody else that grew up being psychic. I knew I could feel everything. Like I said, I'm an empath, so I feel everything. So you talk about seeing dead people. I don't necessarily see dead people. I feel dead people. How's that?
Is it like Sixth Sense with the cold or?
Yeah, like what is the feeling that you get?
A shift of energy, a vibration. I can feel them coming close into my auric field. They blend with me when I'm actually doing mediumship work. I blend with them. Okay, so then I'm going to now go on to what a medium is. Medium is one that speaks with loved ones that have crossed over, pretty much crossed through the veil, died, if you want to put it that way. So when I'm actually in a sitting and in a reading and a loved one does blend with me, they're very strong, they pull me back. I can feel them that come in. And then once I do connect with them, because being a medium, we raise our energy up. We're such a low vibration here. We raise it up, and spirit has to raise their energy down because they're such high. We meet in the middle, hence why we're called mediums. We're kind of like telephone, hotline. Hi, can I get a psychic here? A medium here, you know?
Switchboard, thank you. I never knew that's where that came from. That's cool. Okay.
So here we have to, us being mediums, we have to build the energy up. So sitting in meditation is so important to us. Grounding every day is so important to us. Understanding who we are is so important. Like I'm going to continue saying what's important to us. It's connecting in to who we are. And a lot of people have lost that along the way because we were taught by our mothers, preachers, teachers, you know, just society itself, we've lost who we are. So 2020 came around and everybody says, oh, are you going to take the red pill or the blue pill? Now, a lot of people took the red pill. You know that from the Matrix, okay. And a lot of people chose to take the blue pill and go back to sleep, pretty much. You are awakening in a world that needs to be awakening. We have to raise that vibration going up and forward. So when I'm connected into spirit, they'll blend in with me and I'll blend in with them. And then that's when I actually start getting drop downs, downloads, I would call it. And then they'll start doing the downloads with their memories. They'll pull from my memories, they'll pull from their memories, they'll show me pictures, they'll show me, different scenes. So it's kind of like, for me, playing charades in a way where I'm like, okay, piecing together. I'm still talking with them. I'm linked into them, and as I'm linked in with you. So I'm having a three-way conversation. Like I said, it's pretty much I'm the telephone. I'm part of that receipt. So I'm receiving information from them, and then I'm giving that information to you.
Wow.
And so on and so forth. But being a medium, we pull from all our clairs. Like I said, the feeling, the seeing, the knowing, the hearing, and definitely the smell and taste.
And everyone kind of has their special gift in that, like you were saying. So yours is the feeling, and other people may see, and other people may hear.
There are natural seers out there, so they will see somebody that will come in and like, hey, I'm seeing like that. What's that? I'm seeing dead people. Pretty much.
I see dead people. People.
Yeah,
just hanging out.
So,
but for me, when I do get in, that will be my strong suit, is the clairsentient, my empath. And then going from there, they'll pull from all my clairs. So like I said, every reader reads differently, but they're going to come to the same conclusion. It's just how they get there is their path, and this is how I get there.
So you said that everyone has some kind of psychic ability, and then the mediumship is learned? Or is that also...
Yes, you want to develop it, because it's like developing a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You train like an Olympic trainer. They train for years before they go to Olympics. You're training every day. I sat in many circles once I heard from my guides, which everybody does have guides, go find your teacher. I'm like, who's my teacher? You know?
Where?
I know. Where am I supposed to go? Well, you're led by your intuition. You follow, you listen, you feel that pull, which we all do. Or like you're supposed to make that left turn, but you want it to go right, but all of a sudden you're going left. Guess what? You're listening to your intuition. You just avoided a traffic accident. Mm-hmm. It's just all part of who we are, because we are energetically connected.
Yeah.
That said, I sat in many circles, some closed and some open circles, like how I teach class today in Enchanted Spirits is an open circle. What that means is anybody can come and join, and they can sit for one class, or they can come to many classes. Depends on what your path is going forward. So yes, I didn't know I was per se a medium, but then once I was like my first class, I'm like, oh yeah, there you are. Spirit comes in and shows me their death scene, going forward from there. I'm like, yay! Now I'm a medium.
Like, I don't know if I actually wanted to be this, but I guess I am now. Thanks. That's really cool. That's like you're given a gift, and like you accepted the gift that's like already there for you, and now you get to share it with others. That is really cool. I like that it's on the empath side too, even though it would be kind of cool to be the seer and being able to like be, but I would probably
that
freak
would
out.
Also be terrifying, I think.
Yeah, probably. If like this thing, it's like actual sixth sense. It's like, oh gosh, I see the dead bodies. Like that would be terrifying.
Just like I said, I feel everything, and I will feel how they passed without seeing it. I guess I made a choice with my gifts of I don't want to see blood or guts or anything like that. No offense, zombie, but I'd rather feel it all, knowing that I can just go, okay, I'm feeling it, and then I'm pushing it away. It is a learned thing. How far I've come is a learned thing. I will not be giving up. There's many people that have been doing it for years, and they're still learning. It's an ongoing cycle. So
yeah. So I know you said you were born feeling that sensitivity. When was it that you kind of started accepting it and going to the circles and honing that gift?
The last 6-7 years
Mm-hmm.
of I know that this is my path and this is the path I need to go on to.
And you just felt drawn.
Definitely felt drawn. How can I say, we grew up I'm the product of the 70s, 80s, and we grew up in a time that this was not talked of. So we had to shove it down, especially how I was brought up. I always knew things, and they're like, you possibly can't know things. And I knew when things were going to happen. They're like, how did you know that? And it was just part of who I was. I thought everybody was like me, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, until you start speaking, and then they look at you like the zombies looking at you now going, what? You have 3 heads. But growing up, I just accepted who I was. And then going forward, I would watch. I don't know if you remember Sylvia Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she would go on to Montel. That's when I was first introduced to her, was seeing that. I'm like, how did she possibly know what that person has? Well, she was an empath.
Mm-hmm.
She jumped in right away when somebody asked a question. If you remember going back and seeing how she would do the audience and do like kind of.
I always loved those episodes.
Yeah. And they're like, I've been feeling tired, or am I going to marry this person? And then she'd be like, run.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
Or like, or it's a thyroid, honey, go get it checked. Something like that. And I'm like, how does she know that? Thinking, oh, I know that too, but I didn't know then. To this Charmed, or what's the other one where she actually helped ghosts crossover. I guess that was the Ghost Whisperer.
That's the Ghost Whisperer, right?
Yeah.
My mom loves that show. Yeah, she keeps getting me I need to start watching that one too. I know it's over, but I mean, watch
episodes because they're so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, the Ghost Whisperer was based off of James Van Praagh, and when I first started reading, he was one of my first books. Now he is a medium based out of California, and he has a huge following as well. So he came on the scene just as Sylvia Brown. So all of this was going on, and I kept getting drawn to the books and reading, and then watching these TV shows. There was also the medium, Alison DuBois, that came on, as she would help detectives. She would have dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. So
who's that one chick, the reality show one with that Karen haircut?
The Long Island
blonde
medium?
one. That one. Yeah. What do you think of her?
Long Island medium. She is legit. I actually saw her. Many years ago went at the Bulls. What's that? FSU.
Oh yeah, USF.
Yeah, USF. Thank you. When she came through, and she literally walked by me, and the energy that she carried with her was so phenomenal. And just when she was in that power, yes, she is the real thing. However, TV.
Yeah.
She doesn't walk in off the street going, oh, by the way, I got your dead grandma here,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah. I was going to ask you if you ever, because I know she just will be shopping in a store and, turn to someone and say, like you said, I have your dead grandmother here. Mm-hmm. Do you ever have that experience where you'll be out doing something and you'll get that feeling about someone close by?
Yeah. I don't act upon it though.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, weird things happen.
Yeah. I had someone do that to me in a Walmart before, and I was like, I'm not going with you. I don't know. She was like, oh my gosh, I have something to tell you. Will you just come? I was like, no, I'm not. No. I feel that's probably
was a medium talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. But she's saying that like that. So I would see why you wouldn't want to do it up to random strangers, because they would be probably just like, what? Yeah. I don't want to know that.
I was taught not to do that, and I teach my students not to do that because of the fact you don't know where that person is in their grieving. You don't know what happened, if that grandmother or grandfather, or loved one that passed over, if they were bad or not. So it's just keep your mouth shut and tell the spirit, go away.
Unless someone asks you.
Unless somebody asks you and they want to have a reading with you, then that's when you be open and be like, okay, I got your, But no, I don't. And those, honestly, that's why I say don't follow TV because they are staged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think they get the bad rap that like psychics do, because of how they show on television, where it's just like, bam, like I'm like, even though like you said, it's actually probably taking her time and she's like feeling it in like different ways, but like on the TV, it's everything has to be that quick because we have short attention spans. So I can see why. So they make it like, yeah, it just happens just like that, and it shows up. It's like
that's the magic of Hollywood, if you want to put it
that's
that
way.
True.
So are there ever any areas that you go to that you feel more of a presence? Like, for example, a cemetery?
That was a good laugh right there. You're just like, ooh.
Okay, so a story. I was in New Orleans about 4 years back. Okay, and they amazing cemeteries, and I was walking through one of the famous ones, and yep, I had a following, and it drained me, and I didn't realize how bad they will, and we call them suckers. So chilling out, bubbling up, doing everything that you can, but yeah, I tend not to frequent them just because it's a resting place. If they're not there, but they're gorgeous. Some of them still linger around,
Mm-hmm.
You can think of them, they're right there. And I'm talking about loved ones that have crossed over. They don't go, oh, I'm going to hang out at my grave right now. No,
Right. I wouldn't imagine. Yeah.
That's another Hollywood thing, because they make you think that's like wherever the body is, if they're still in the world, they're still like frequencing or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, they'll follow you.
Hollywood.
You're gonna go pay homage to them and sit there. They're right next to you because they never leave your side.
I would imagine somewhere instead of a cemetery, and I ask that question for the general public. I don't believe that they hang around places that they frequent after they die, like cemeteries or funeral homes, but I would imagine someplace like the battlefields of Gettysburg would be a lot more.
Yeah.
My best friend has a story with that, and she was down in one of the areas taking a picture, and like the camera literally ripped off of her hand, and like you see the photo of her climbing out, and she has like pure terror in her face. Like, so she really saw it. Like she's I think she has like the psychic like gift too, because she sees like ghosts more than like freaking anybody.
No, Gettysburg. I lived up in Philadelphia for many years. So we would travel to Gettysburg, and my brother was on the cross country team, and so that's why the last time I was there was when he was running, and he has a story of when he was running, nobody was around him, but people were around him running with him. So yeah, it's a very hot spot, and there is a lot of activity there just because of so much death happened on it. So energetically on that realm, yes. Do a lot of people ghosts hang around? Yes.
Yeah. I went to
that's another thing.
I went to college in Emmitsburg, Maryland, which is just a hop and skip from Gettysburg. It's like 10 minutes away. And we used to go there to the battlefields at night when we were bored. And I recall one time, just you could feel the energy, but one time I swear I saw something, and it, out in the middle of a dark field, and you never know, but I do to this day swear that I saw something because of it wasn't just what I saw, it was the feeling I got. And it was just that feeling that like, oh my God, it's something. And I needed to get out of here.
Yeah.
Stacy, run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it scared me.
I'm not one for ghosts. I really am not, even though I'm in this and I'm in a mystic and I'm a medium and all that stuff. If I see a ghost, I run. So I'm the first to admit it. So yeah, Stacy, I would have run off that battlefield in Gettysburg as well.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you if you've ever had an experience where a bad quote unquote spirit has come through to you.
Yes and no, if I want to put it that way. I've had attachments where I had to have other mediums take it off of me, which means I didn't close up all the way. How I work is I bring in Archangel Michael, I bring in protection. So I'm actually bringing in the love and light. I don't entertain the lower energies, if you want to put it that way. And there are a lot of low energies that will come in and sneak in from time to time. But an attachment, people don't realize they have them and they're walking around with them. New Orleans is a hot spot, if you want to put it that way. And I'm going to go off kilter, but it's like psychic vampires or energy vampires, and they'll come in and they'll suck your energy dry. An attachment does the same thing without you realizing that you have one attached to your auric field. And then that's when you start feeling really tired and lethargic and all of that, until like someone points out, wow, your energy or your auric field is really black or gray or all that. And it's like, oh, I'm feeling really tired and low, until someone can take that off.
Wow.
I think I had a couple of exes that were psychic vampires. It make a lot of sense.
You can still have a cord attached to them and they still can suck that energy dry. Yeah.
Are the spirits that come to you, and this is kind of a goofy question, but it's also a legitimate question that I have. Are they all human, or do you ever have like animal spirits come through to you?
Yes. When I'm sitting and doing readings and all of a sudden a dog shows up, a cat shows up. Yes. I will have them and I'll be like, I have this little fluffy dog, white dog, whatever. There's actually animal communicators that will only speak with pets that have crossed over.
Yes. Wow.
That's the going on. I'd be like, I don't want to talk to you humans. I just want to talk to the animals.
I actually know quite a few of them, and they're amazing at what they do. But yeah, and also they will talk to their incarnated soul, which is the live ones here today, and they'll connect in with that as well. So occasionally I'll have one that pushes their way through in front of everybody else, and then I'll be like, I have to mention them, and then they'll sit there and then they'll just watch me throughout the day. Throughout their time, not the day, I should say. And some of them do come in like 2 things ahead. I'm like, there's this big St. Bernard here. I can't take that. I'm like, okay, well, it's in the corner now.
I feel like it'd be like pitties would be the ones that'd be like running through, be like, no, it's my time. I want to do this. Blah, blah, blah.
But there's some that are really pushy, and then they'll just sit on you.
Like do they leave dog fur behind?
Pardon?
Yeah. Do they leave dog fur behind?
That's my kind of pet.
So we get the lint roller out going, okay, clean it up.
So I know that you create a safe space when you do a reading with talking to St. Michael and all of that. Do you have like a closing to after the reading where, say you're doing a reading for someone and their grandfather comes through and then the reading's over and you're like, go away, grandpa. How do you get rid of them?
My team actually on the other side gets rid of them or helps them usher them through. Sometimes they like to sit in the corner and continue like, this is fun, I don't want to leave yet. Or, and their loved ones clear gone, or they'll walk out with their loved ones. They all sometimes will walk in prior to their loved ones coming in. And that's interesting as well. But other than that, it's up to them. I have a team. Like I said, everybody is born with a guide. Tia, you believe that or not? But
I would love to believe it. I really do. So
good.
I just know that there's a lot of people out there that are like they take advantage of it, and that's what I just don't like. So they're the ones that ruin it for the rest. Because like I believe in supernatural things and psychics and stuff like that. It's the shady ones, but that's with all people. There's always shady ones that ruin it.
Any line of work, there is always shade.
Yeah.
So.
And then it balances it out, the yin and yang, like you said.
You don't sound shady, so I'm liking your psychic right here. So you've convinced me that you are.
How we all do it is just the way that we're taught, how we feel comfortable doing. But we are all born with a guide. And then since I was serious enough to proceed forward with this, they were serious enough to help guide me more. And that's where sitting in circles, developing your muscle, if you want to put it that way, because they throw a lot of things at you. Just believing in yourself, trusting in who you are is so important in our line of work. So, okay, I know what your question was of how do I do readings per se. Mm-hmm. When I sit down and when I read at Enchanted, when I'm in that room, I'm no longer Danielle Nice from the street. I'm now the nice medium. I sit down, I'm ready to work, I'm open, I'm getting information from you, I'm getting information from your loved ones, your guides, anything like that, and proceeding forward. When I'm done, I shut down, I no longer am in that stream of energy, if you want to put it that way. Mm-hmm. I'm no longer open to the energies out here on our level, and then the loved ones blending in with me. I pretty much go, I'm shut down, lights off, don't bother me.
Mm-hmm. You clocked out for your shift.
To live.
Yeah. Your readings are only through Enchanted Spirits. I know some people offer like virtual or over the phone, but you do only at Enchanted Spirits?
Yes and no. I also do it outside as well. If somebody wants to contact me and they can't make it into the shop, or, so I can do phone readings. I can also do it on Zoom like this. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also available for parties, so people can book me and have like a psychic party.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Just fun. But yeah, I
keep that in mind.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, because I
don't do seances, but
yeah,
no Ouija boards,
different thing. Yeah, no, because I was wondering if you had to be in person with that person that you were doing the reading for to feel the energy, or if like we're on the Zoom right now, you could like sense something.
Essentially, she wants her own reading right now.
Basically.
So read her. Go read her.
Yeah. You don't have to be in person. Like you can be in, let's say, Maine or Washington State, and I can still connect in with you. And that's just with anybody that's psychic. It's just a matter of if somebody says, oh, I'm worried about so-and-so, what do you know of that? Just give me the first name, and then I'll make sure I blend in. So I'm not blending in with your energy, your incarnated right now. Or I'm going to blend in with them and then go from there. And then one thing is, and people, please just remember, don't feed the medium. We love to eat, but we don't need that information. We're here to service, obviously give a gift out to you. The more that you say, it kind of is, then why do you want to come to a psychic? Why do you want to come to a medium?
Yeah, that's a good point, because, I've had readings done before and I never know how much to say, and I don't want to say a lot because it's like, I guess in a way it's that small skeptic in me that's like, let me test you right now, but it's also, I'm sure you need something to go off of. So what information should someone provide?
You definitely want to go with questions ahead of time. Like, I would like to know where the next year is going to be for me, or where the is the person I'm currently with, or what is my purpose? Have I found my purpose? Just questions in general, etc. type thing. When you sit there, allow the psychic to open up to you, blend in, go in with an open mind. Don't go in with barriers. Just be open to the process and just let them do their job. And then if they stop and say, do you have any questions? And if they didn't answer it during that time, then ask that question that they didn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
They go from there. A lot of people will go in and test you. Why waste your money? Honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's like, true.
Why do you want to sit here and then just like yell at us or something? I don't know. I've heard horror stories from other mediums. Like, oh, okay.
Just to attack you. Yeah, I paid money to attack you. It's like,
yeah, that's hardcore.
You didn't have to. Yeah. Jeez.
Another thing is a lot of people, us psychics, they some of them are like, well, you didn't predict 2020. Well, yeah, no, we did, but we didn't. You know, it's like, what did you want to predict? You know, here's
which part?
Here's the whole thing is everybody has free will.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and I'm going to tap into Stacy. I'm going to blend and give you a reading and I'm going to say stuff about you. But then you ask about, let's say a loved one or a love life or anything like that. Guess what? That person has free will. Mm-hmm. I could say something that I can feel you going down this road. Is it the right road, wrong road? You know, but that's up to you, honestly, of how you want to receive the information that I'm giving you and how you want to take that with you. So it's all take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah, I can tap in and scan and do all that stuff. If I'm feeling something's off, please go seek medical help, you know, or a doctor or, you know, a dentist, an eye doctor, anything like that. But also be mindful that this is to help you, not to hinder you. This is also to help you guide you along your path of where you need to be. I can tell when you are off your path, and a lot of psychics can go, wow, you took a really long time off. Let's get you back on, and let's get you forward and moving forward and doing that. So.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see our podcast success? Just, I don't know. Where do you see this ending up? I know. Thank you.
Oh, it's only the beginning for you two. You're going to go far.
I like it.
Keep
sold. Now we have to go in so we can get a full reading.
Yeah.
You definitely have something here. So just more social media. More getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this with anything, it's going to take time. You planted that seed. Now that seed, you can't harvest that once you plant it. It takes at least 3-6 months.
Watering.
Harvest something. Yeah. And then you're going to see how far you've come because you're going to go, oh yeah, and you see how better you are, and that's just with anybody you're going to do. You know, 2 years ago, it's about 2.5 years ago, I came out of the closet as a psychic medium, and my debut was at Enchanted Spirits, and she Kathy put me on the docket of okay, and I got a date, so I was a reader once a month there, and trust me, I was terrified. I'm like, oh, but then I grew as you all will grow and move forward and learn as you go along, and now I'm there every Friday at Enchanted and as a reader, and then every other Sunday.
And how many readers are at Enchanted Spirits?
We have 4 readers. So we have 3 psychic mediums and then 1 oracle card reader.
Okay.
We all have our designated days. So we have a reader on every day. So if I'm not working, there's amazing ones right here, left and right of me.
And when you mentioned oracle, is that with tarot, or is that something else entirely?
That is a total different. It's oracle cards or tarot cards.
Gotcha.
Tarot cards, you have to
it was something
spread to get to that main outcome. Where an oracle, you can just pull a couple cards.
Right. Okay. Because I do tarot card readings. I've been doing those since my first deck was when I was 12 years old. So I've been doing tarot cards, and it is true with the free will. I definitely believe that because I've pulled tarot and done it before, and it's kind of like how you interpret it. But then, like you said, I always have this weird feeling that once I do my tarot, it's like I closed that outcome too. I have this weird thing where it's like, if I do my tarot, then it's like, I've actually just changed my future because I now know what's going to happen. So I don't do it a lot.
You can also, you can change that perspective and say, how can this guide me along my path?
Right.
And then look at it that way. How can a reading help me where I need to be? Because Oracle cards, it's a couple cards, and then they'll flip another couple cards and a couple cards, and then tarot, and they can do how many different decks with that. And it's all part of just guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I do know that tarot, am a tarot believer, obviously, if I've been doing it so long. But it's funny because the last time I did tarot, I was actually doing another podcast. And in my reading, it was kind of telling, because I was asking, I was like, is it going to be successful? Because we were like super excited about it. And then in it said like how I was going to have struggles and like there's going to be a lot of hard times. But then like in the outcome, in the end, there's going to be success and all this stuff. And it's kind of funny because it wasn't talking about that podcast. It was talking about this podcast is what, like at the time I was reading it, like, oh, we're going to have struggles and move on. But no, it was actually, you're going to have struggles with that one. And then like, but you're still going to be podcasting. So it's all about how you read things.
Yeah.
Crazy.
World. Take away from what you are.
Exactly.
So when is Enchanted Spirits open? What days and times? And also, how much is it for a reading?
Okay. Enchanted Spirits is open 7 days a week. And the readers, we're $250 a minute with a 15-minute minimum. Mm-hmm. So your initial investment is $37.50. Go from there. And then each reader does read privately outside of the shop as well as inside the shop. So.
Now, how do you know if you'll, like need 20 minutes, or how does that work? Do you estimate ahead of time, or you just start at 15 minutes, it'll go, and then, it's kind of like whenever the person says, okay, I've had enough, or whenever, the person on the other side kind of disappears.
Go back into the fold. Mm-hmm. You actually make that prior to you coming in to get in a reading. Initially, if it's your first reading ever, I would give yourself a good 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Honestly, 30 minutes is you can get so much information out from there. 15 minutes, it's like rapid fire. Where do you want to touch on? What can we do? Where can I guide you? And it goes so fast.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do, I would start off with 20 to 30 minutes and go from there. And if you just need to come back and get a fresher up, then 15 minutes. I just have a question. Okay, let's go in. Let's chat. Mm-hmm. Go from there. Just remember, like how I read, I guide you. I help guide you. I help guide you on your path. I hopefully it helps with your outcome. Like bring in the loved ones that come in and go from there, because they usually love to chat when they get a hold of me, and they're like, they don't want to let go. They're like, this is so cool. Oh my gosh.
Does it ever happen that someone comes in hoping to speak to one person who passes over, and then someone else comes through and it's almost a struggle, or the person may get upset about, well, I came in for this person, not my cousin who I hated in life.
Well, he's getting they're getting their nails done right now, so they don't want to come over here and talk to me. I'm sorry. They have plans too.
It does happen because of, let's hypothetically go with the cousin that you couldn't stand in life and they did you wrong.
That is definitely a hypothetical. I just want to add.
Hypothetical.
For all your cousins.
As an example. But they're here to make amends to you because they see how they treated you now that they're on their other side. They've gone through their scan. They've gone through their earth review, if you want to put it, their life review. And they want to just come back and say, hey, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? And it's healing on both sides when that happens too. And it's also healing to hear from a loved one that you are so waiting for to hear. People do ask, they just died. Are you sure you can get them in? They're standing right next to me, yes. But they followed you here.
Do you feel that they're more present kind of sooner after they die than if they've been gone for years?
Yeah, I can definitely feel a difference of somebody that just passed, because their link here, because of the lower vibration, is so earthbound, if you want to put it that way. They're not ghosts, they've crossed over, but their link here is so much stronger than somebody that's been gone for, let's say, 10, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody has been gone 10, 20 years, they come in, I can feel them. I'm like, I'll just wait. And you can feel them coming in. They're like, all right, you're almost here.
Oh, God, all right.
I'm exaggerating, but but it's a different feel. Definitely a different feel. Some of them don't want to cross over just yet because some of them don't feel that they're done here. And that's where you get the ghost type of feelings. And then some do cross over and come back and go, I can't believe I'm freaking dead. What's going on here? And going from there. So there's a lot of different things.
Do they, this is just a question that came to me, but has this ever happened with you or someone you know where they came back and, or communicated rather during a reading where it was like maybe the person sitting there thought they died one way and they died a different way? So say it was like they thought maybe they died of, well, not as dramatic as murder maybe, but maybe it's like, they thought they had a drug overdose and they didn't mean to interact to prescription drugs. I don't know. That's just, I'm trying to think of something not as dramatic as murder right now.
Well, you think that they died of natural causes but they actually were murdered. Like, find my killer. That's a pretty,
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. We have a lot of stories that, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But,
I was going to say,
when
I feel like we could have you forever.
How I get them, just how I read, when somebody passes of a drug overdose or an allergic reaction to the drugs that they were taking, my blood itches. It's just the way that they make me feel, because to them that drug is still on their system. So when I blend in with their energy, I'm like, wow, I can't stop itching. Metaphorically.
Oh my goodness.
And then I've heard from another medium, like if it's something in like the stomach that they died from, or like a heart attack, like they'll feel a heaviness or like a stomach ache. You get that?
I feel everything. When I say I feel their death, I feel everything. Yeah. And that's just that's how I was, how spirit brought to me. Let's say, you want to know my very first reading that I knew about the death scene? I don't know. This guy was working on outdoors on a what do you call those, stadium seating type of thing, and it was on the outside. Well, he fell down to the ground and broke his neck. And then when he blended in, when I opened up and blended in with them, he kept wrenching my neck. And I'm like, why is my neck being? And so I felt his neck actually physically break, even though my neck is still not broken.
Yeah.
It was just the way that he came in and said, this is how I did. So take that for instance, and then someone that comes in with a heart attack, you will feel the pressure on. You'll feel that. You also, if somebody was on a what do you think?
Ventilator?
Yeah, you can feel that because they couldn't speak. Loved ones that crossed over with Alzheimer's and dementia will be really confused in the head. If someone kind of had a heart attack and fell and hit their heads, you can feel the heart and then the head go. So stomach, a lot of cancer in general, just eating away of the organs. So yeah, it's all interesting. And that's why you have to have a thick skin in this world.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What you're presented with. And especially on a physical level with incarnated souls like me and you and doing this and the energies going. We walk around open. A lot of people are open and not aware of it. So they're feeling everybody, especially the empaths out there. They need to close down. They need to understand that it's 99% of their problems are not them. And I'm talking about empaths in general. You need to just not feel the world. You got to understand who you are. So opening up and being where we are is just, how can I say, just believing in who in going forward.
We could literally ask you, we could interview you all day. Like we literally probably could find so many more scenarios to ask about. But what about this one? What about this one? And it's just such a very cool and different subject to talk about and like learn about like how it actually is from a person, other than like you said, watching it on television where everything's dramatized and everything. So it's really, it's
I'm normal.
Intriguing.
This is who I am. I'm not going out there going, I'm spooky or anything like that.
you over there. The hell, there's no one there, lady.
And people are like, oh, you're one of them. And I'm like, what do you mean one of them?
What does that mean?
I'm just a normal person
right now. And I'm like, no, I actually don't care.
I'm not reading everyone that's like walking
like when
around.
Someone meets like a therapist or a psychologist and they think that, you know, that person is constantly analyzing them.
Yeah.
Are you analyzing me right now? Stop it with those eyes.
I don't care. I'm eating my tacos.
Well, Danielle, like Tia said, we could literally keep you here all day and we've kept you a while, but I do just have 2 last questions for you. Are you able to communicate with any loved ones of yours that have passed over, and do they reach out to you at random times, or do you have to kind of tap into, I want to communicate with this person, and then they come through?
Yeah, if you can see my couch right now, they're all sitting on it. Just saying. No. When they do cross over, I feel them more. Like my grandmother passed a couple years back, and she used to love riding in cars. And when I travel over to my mom's house, which is on the other coast of Florida, she's sitting right next to me riding in the car. So they pop in randomly. Sometimes they sit in the back seat while you're driving. They're around. I physically don't see them, and like I said, I feel them when they come through, and I ignore them. I just, because I get so wrapped up in my daily life that I'm like, oh, you were here, okay, great, thanks. What do I need to know? You know, or they'll just be sitting on the couch with you. They just want to be around you. But no, they don't scare me.
That must be very comforting.
Yeah.
You don't really ever lose anyone.
It's just pretty much they're not gone. Your soul lives on forever. And that's the hardest thing for us humans, because we have an ego-based body that can't fathom that we actually can go on forever. We do. Have you ever read like Many Master, Many Lives, Journey of the Souls, any of those books? It's life after life type of thing. Oh, good. But it's, I don't even know where I was going with this, but it's just moving forward with being able to, when the loved one crosses, they're not in a human body anymore, but their soul is going to be right next to you. It's kind of like I'm sitting in the living room and they're in the kitchen, and that's how close we are. And there's just the veil. And once we lift the veil up, which all mediums will, we step forward and we go from there. Then we can have that communication with them. You call upon your loved ones. They're not, and they'll be right next to you. You know, they see everything. They hear everything. We hear on this plane is a time, we create time as humans. They don't have time over there. So what we perceive as a year has probably been 5 years to them. It's just, just hypothetically going forward with it. Mm-hmm. It's just, they can see everything and do everything, and it's amazing.
So does that kind of make you more comforted about dying? Like a lot of people are so afraid of death, but is that kind of a comfort to you to know that?
Yes, in general. Mm-hmm. And to live your life fully and take every advantage, because you ever hear the YOLO, you only have one life. You only have one life in this body, but your soul has many, many, many lives and have been living many lives. So what you need to get done in this body, please live it to the fullest and go forward. Don't be trapped in your mind. Don't get that fear base, that low energy going, you can't move forward. I can't do this. You hear the word can't, you got to believe in yourself and trust that this is what you need to do. You guys have a purpose here, and your platform is media. and getting people out there and asking these questions. So that's your purpose. By going forward with that, you feel good. We want people to feel good. We want them to leave a session going, oh my God, how awesome was that? You know, I'm feeling so much better about myself that I can actually move forward and live the best life that I can be. And that's just how I want you to leave a reading with me. Thank you so much. You know, I'll be back when I need to. Back there.
See you same time next week.
There's people that do, and which because there's a lot going on with their time. But yeah, I'm not afraid of dying but I'm also like, I want to make sure I'm living my best life too. How's that?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I think that's a beautiful spot to end on. So Danielle, how would someone get in touch with you to get a reading done? And if they're interested in taking your classes also, how would they find information on that?
You can contact the shop, Enchanted Spirits. We're at 712 Broadway in downtown Dunedin. Like I said, we have a reader on every day. My days of reading are every Friday from 12 to 6 and every other Sunday from 12 to 5. My classes are an ongoing circle, and I just had one this prior Thursday, so the next class won't be until October 1st. It's the first and third Thursdays. You can sign up. With the restrictions, I do need to reserve a seat for you, so call into the shop at Enchanted Spirits and reserve your seat. The classes in general are there to teach you and help guide you along your path of who you are. Some people want to better themselves, like I said, and then go from there, or understand what's going on. Why is my hearing going? What's going on with my itching of my hair? Why am I seeing colors around people? It's just more for you to understand all of that. So those classes, like I said, are the first and third Thursdays. That begin October 1st is the next one, and that'll start at 7 to 9, and that's $20. At Enchanted Spirits, we're $2.50 a minute with a 15-minute minimum. To get your allotted time, I would call in the shop and get that and go forward. I also do, like I said, private readings on the side as well. So
excellent. And what's your website? I know you have a website too.
Well, thenicemedium.com, and I am the nice medium. I can do that. My last name's Nice, so hey.
Perfect. Perfect branding.
For you. All right. Thank you so much, Danielle. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. Stay with us for Inside the Podcast Studio.
All right, and welcome everybody to meet us on Main Street inside the podcast studios. My name is Tia Lawton, and I'm here for you to answer questions too. Are you ready, Danielle, for our first serious question?
Okay. Yes.
I think Danielle is getting James Lipton coming through saying he's angry that you stole these questions from him.
Well, what I have to say to James Lipton is that he stole the questions first. So, what is your favorite word?
I heard ocean, so that's my favorite word.
Hey, if you hear it though, what is your least favorite word?
You hate.
What is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
What animal would you want to be?
A tiger.
What animal would you never want to be?
Prairie dog.
What weapon would you pick during a zombie apocalypse?
Sword. Why would I want a sword when I can just fire a gun?
What weapon would you never pick during a zombie apocalypse?
Probably a sword.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
To fly a plane. How about cooking? Being a good chef. Sailing.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many.
Flying, sailing, cook. I like you cook on boats and airplanes. There you go. Yeah. Perfect. And then what profession would you not like to do?
Okay, now this is getting gross, but not to go into the sewers or cleaning out those big tanks that you have to go like.
Ooh, septic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And last but definitely not least, if you died tomorrow, what is one thing you would want the world to remember about you?
That was nice.
And on that note, thank you very much. That's the perfect ending to these questions.
Thank you so much, Danielle. This has been an awesome interview. We are so excited to go get our readings.
I want to find out about this guy. What was his past life?
Go get yourself some readings from Danielle at Enchanted Spirits. So we have some events coming up this month.
I love how much buzz and people are out on the streets again. So it's definitely Dunedin's feeling more like Dunedin again. So that's pretty freaking awesome.
And that's
what I have to say about that.
I will say one public service announcement. Wear your friggin' masks, all right?
Oh, that's the other part. Nobody is wearing masks anymore.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen this? Just like nobody. I was like, oh my gosh.
Here's the thing, guys.
I still wear it indoors.
We're very excited to be getting back out there. The numbers are low, but
Florida!
You gotta wear the mask to keep the number low.
Florida! So, I'm riding the alligator, shooting my guns. Florida!
The pandemic is still around. COVID is still out there.
Florida canceled the pandemic. America. So that's Florida's response to you, Stacy.
Well, you know what? Fine. Y'all enjoy your quarantine again is all I'm going to say. But anyway, I digress. I digress. You know who will be wearing masks? The cast of Dunedin Showcase Theater.
And I'm sure somebody...
So guys, we have, starting today, the day of the podcast release, Dunedin Showcase Theater is going to be putting on their play, Dead and Breakfast, which is the before-mentioned play, or aforementioned? Aforementioned. Whatever.
We never passed English, come on now.
Anyway, it's the play that I am in. So if you would like to come on out and see me in a community theater production, and hey, there's nothing like going to see a play during a pandemic where the actors will be wearing masks. So it's only $10, and the show times are 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a 2:30 matinee on Sunday.
And on October 9th, we've got the I Love Dunedin art reception at Sterling Arts Gallery. That is in the Sterling Art Gallery District, I believe is the name of that complex. West Broadway? It's over by Sterling Arts.
Sure.
Question mark. But yeah, so it's going to be all things I Love Dunedin. So definitely check that out. That's from 5:30 to 7:30 at the aforementioned Sterling Arts Gallery. And then also on October 9th, such a popular day, we have a Dunedin Sunset Shopping Extravaganza with Dunedin Candle Company and Dunedin Hemp Company. And that is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And they're going to have a bunch of local vendors. And it's going to be a little mini street market out there. And that's right next door to Eddie's. So check it out.
And then on 10/16, we have our virtual movie night. Virtual movie night is back. Virtual movie night is back.
Because it's Halloween and we got to get a scary slasher film to make fun of, guys. Because aren't slasher films like the easiest ones to make fun of? So what movie will we be making fun of this month, Stacey?
We will be watching, actually, while you're making fun of it, I will be terrified. We will be watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yes. I think out of all of like the slasher films that I do usually laugh at, because I'm slightly psychotic, Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely one of the scariest, because as the difference between like Michael and Jason, where they like slowly run at you and you're like, why aren't they running away? Like that commercial, let's go to that, run to that barn with the chainsaws in it. Freddy gets in your mind. He gets in your fucking mind, man. Like he gets you when you're sleeping. You can't not sleep. Like that's the worst thing ever. Like he's just, that movie's fucked. But Johnny Depp will be really hot because he's in the first one, right? Not the second. We should be getting Johnny Depp in this one. That's the reason why I signed on. It's for young Johnny. Yeah, that's why I signed on for this. If not, we are watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2, everybody. Whichever one he's in.
I'm pretty sure it's the first one.
I think so too.
And exciting news about that. Harley's Gourmet Popcorn will be sponsoring our virtual movie night.
What up? We got sponsors, y'all.
What goes better with movies? Popcorn.
What one are you gonna get? I really
want
that OMG, but I want to try something else too.
They're all so delicious, so I'm just gonna have to see what they have that day.
Whatever they give us. We'll take your scraps. Give us your popcorn, your delicious, delicious popcorn.
Whatever I am in the mood for that day. I can't tell you if it's gonna be sweet or savory.
That's true. I'm thinking right now already is between the beer cheese and the OMG. So that's my savory or sweet. Or maybe I can get half and half. That would be badass. So we'll find out. Stay tuned and find out on October 16th which popcorn we decide on.
And then every Friday, there is a Dunedin Women's Running Group that leaves from Tookro at 7 a.m. They run a 5K, all pace levels. So if you're a slow runner or a walker or super quick runner, all are welcome. I am not that's not me. Yeah.
You're a fast walker.
I'm a slow runner. They meet at 7 a.m. and then they have coffee afterward at Tookro. And I believe it's a free cup of coffee if it's your first run. So check that out. And finally, on October 21st, there's a women's only networking group at Keel and Curly Winery. So a little bit out of our little bubble that we normally talk about.
So good. Try their blueberry wine. If you like sweeter wines, their blueberry wine is fantastic. And the
event sounds pretty cool because it's wine and line dancing. So women's only networking. So sorry, gentlemen, it's not an event for you. It is for the ladies only. So you can find more information on that on the Women's Only Networking Facebook page.
Awesome. Well, that is it for our first spooky October Halloween edition episode. Stay tuned for our next spooky episode, which is even spookier. All right, guys. Love you. Remember, rate, review, subscribe, like us. Everywhere. Just like us in general, please. Sponsorships, advertising, merchandise. We've got it all. It's going to be huge, everybody. It's huge. And on that note, goodbye.
Bye, guys.